Before I start talking about this, I want to be quite clear. I am not a financial advisor, a banker, an accountant, or any person who should be giving business or financial advice. So please don't sue me. Now that I let this off-the-hook statement out, let me tell you what's been driving me crazy, wiggling in my brain. My whole life I've always wanted to turn my D&D hobby into something profitable. I never quite had the guts or kind of the drive to do it. Plus, this thing of chasing girls and women as I aged and starting a family kind of got in the way of it. But here I am. And the thought came into my brain again. How do I turn this obsession into cold, hard cash? I sat around and I just realized, well, there's a lot of little business opportunities you can have. There are services you can render, items you can trade, and broadcasting, which frankly was not even a possibility in the 90s. So, and all these broad categories crisscross and intermesh into many business opportunities. First, let's go with services. If you have the skill set, you can render art services, whether it's creating portraits of player characters, illustrations for different scenes, or even painting miniatures for players who just don't have the skill or ability to paint. The other kind of services you can do, and it's the big one a lot of people say to make money, is to be a DM for hire. Everybody out there wants to play Dungeons & Dragons, but nobody wants to do the real work. They just want to show up with a piece of paper with some numbers on it, and roll some dice, say some nonsensical things, make believe that their characters slashing and fighting, and pretend that they got imaginary loot. Meanwhile, the person who has to really grasp the rules, do all the hard work, never there. Nobody wants to do that. So here we are. You've got all the players' handbooks, the monster manuals, 2 editions, maybe 3 deep. You know what to do. You have the passion. You do it for free for your ungrateful friends. Well, put an ad in the paper, plaster some bulletin boards, or go to specialized online places if you want to play online. And here you have it. At the gaming store last time I went, to put up some flyers to promote this wonderful YouTube channel, I saw somebody charge $25 per player. Now, if you have 4 or 5 players, $25 each, you can make what? Let's see, a couple, 150, 125, maybe more. That's not bad for an evening of playing Dungeons & Dragons, stuff that you'd want to do anyway. After being a DM, another thing you do is teach people how to play the game. Not necessarily just as a DM, but you could sit at a table with less experienced players. There you could teach how to min-max a character to make some crazy combos, or teach the traditions, table etiquette, so that people learn new systems and don't come out as crass assholes who, knock everybody's minis over just to throw some dice. If you're like a lot of players, you probably have a massive collection of D&D memorabilia, items, old rule books, multiple versions, and that's where we go into the second broad category, trade and commerce. You can buy and sell items. If you have a lot of collectibles, you can pretend that you're going to start selling them, but really, you know that if you get into that racket, you're going to end up having more and more. The rule is simple. Buy low, sell high. Hit the yard sales, garages, you never know. Even, flea markets. buy old copies. Anything with TSR might be worth gold. And pawn it off on eBay, Craigslist. Just be safe. And try not to be too greedy. The other thing you can do, and it dovetails a little bit into what I talked about art services, is you can create original content. Could be illustrations, or you could be creating new modules, rule supplements, especially with the way the current gaming license is working. You can create to your heart's content for 5th edition. Plus, if you are a DM, chances are you're creating original material once in a while. And last but not least, if you're handy with your hands, you can make arts and crafts. I don't know, maybe there's a market for handmade dice. Or how about necklaces? Costumes. A lot of people like to cosplay like their characters. And I think that's great. And last but not least, we could broadcast. And that didn't exist in the 90s. We didn't have that opportunity to send our stuff to the millions. We were lucky if there was public access that would allow people to broadcast anything other than city hall meetings. You can create videos, create your own content, whether or not it's talking to a camera like me, or faceless content like I occasionally post, or just debating with other people. You can also stream your games. If you find a group of awesome, lively players who can burst off the screen and show you all their tricks, well, great. Put them behind the camera and let's give Critical Role a run for their money. And last but not least, some people want to learn how to paint their minis or draw portraits, etc. And that's where you can create great how-to videos. Videos where you can explain everything from the intricacies of creating art to how to paint. And all those things will be great for you. Because even if you don't turn $1 million, the fact that you're giving out to the community will make you feel worth $1 million. Well, that's it. I'm going to try to go in depth for each one of those categories. Heck, I might try them myself and report on you on my successes. Either way, keep playing D&D. Keep watching Melodies and Monsters, and don't forget, like, subscribe, ring the bell, join my cult. Bye.